Okay, well, the viewers have spoken, and as it turns out, you guys want to see more rubber band ball content, so here it is. Today I'm going to show you, I get a lot of questions actually from on my rubber band ball videos. Everybody's fascinated by them. So they want to know a whole bunch of things, but today I'm going to talk about one of them. It's how do you keep your rubber band ball round? Keeping the rubber band ball round is harder and harder the bigger it gets. So you have to keep on it, and you have to, I don't know, really try to perfect it if you want to keep it round. Otherwise, it starts getting a little egg shape, and it doesn't look as good. So what I do to keep them round is I call it I'm covering up the voids. So by void, what I mean is I'm looking for a spot on the ball where there hasn't been many rubber band ball or many rubber bands for a few layers. So like I see this right here, this one's kind of open. This I call a pit, and then this whole area I call a void. So you're not trying to cover up little pits where there's just a little spot. You're trying to put a rubber band in an area where there hasn't been one for a while. It's a little hard to explain, but so you're effectively, by doing that, you're going to get the most uniform cover over the ball that you can, the most uniform appearance, and you are going to ultimately get the roundest ball you can. So, show you what I do here. Here's a spot right here. Looks like there hasn't been a band for a while, so I'm going to come in this way. Okay, so got a rubber band here. I pre-stretch them out because they can snap on you, and they're just easier to get on the ball, especially when it gets bigger. It's harder and harder to build as it gets bigger. So I'll show you how I do this. I get it flat on the ball, and then I go around. Okay? And then I straighten the band out. I roll it around, roll the ball around. Now this gets harder and harder to do. I found one that's twisted down here. It gets harder and harder to do as the ball gets bigger, because you have to keep rolling the ball around, and the bigger it is, the bigger the circumference is on the ball, the further it rolls to get to the other side. So the space that you need to build it in keeps getting bigger and bigger. So let's do another one here. These are Alliance rubber bands. Everybody asked me, these are their supersized bands, they're called. You don't want to buy these until the ball gets pretty big, though, so no sense in buying these for a smaller ball. Also, you can tell I'm already breathing heavy. You standing and leaning over this thing and putting the bands on, it's hard work. I've had my fingers bleed and stuff from this, but let's find another spot where there hasn't been one. Looks like, well, right here there hasn't been anything for a while, so let's put one there. Okay. And I straighten the band out. If you keep putting them on and they keep curving around the ball, they're going to build up lopsided. So you want the band to be centered on the ball, and you want it to be perfectly straight all the way around the ball. Okay. I'll do one more, and then I'll tell you something else about it. Alright. One hasn't been run. Actually, right here, I see a spot. Whoa! And that happens. That just snapped on my arm. That does happen sometimes, and that's just part of the job, I guess. Let's say. Okay, here we go. That's why I pre-stretch. They break a lot less when you give them a little bit of a pre-stretch. Okay, roll it to get it straight. Fill all the voids. Okay, beautiful. Now you know how to put a band on the ball. This applies for the small balls as well as the big balls. As I said, it does get harder. Small ones, you're trying to cover up specific areas where there hasn't been one for a while. The bigger it gets, the harder it is to find those areas. So, okay, another tip to keeping the ball round. This is This is a harder one to get because rubber bands in the size that you need are hard to find anyway. So to find 2 colors of them is even harder. But if you do have the fortune to buying them in color and you have a different color band, now you make the ball all one color, you get it a solid color, then you start going over with another colored band. And you're not going to really fill that void anymore. You're going to put them on the ball. Okay, you put one on the ball, you divide it in, you divide the ball in half, your first one, okay? Then the next one, you've got a twist there. You're going to go at a 90-degree angle to that, okay? So, okay, so we got that, right? All right. Now, you're going to keep splitting this up. Now we're going to need one 90-degree angle here. Grab another one. Ugh. Okay. Some twists. Just straighten it out. More twists. Alright, and that one's flat on the ball. Now we're going to keep dividing it up because now you can easily see the green bands over the red bands. So I'm going to keep dividing it up. I got a twist. Oh, there we go. Every time I see a twist, I fix it. Just looks better when they're all smooth on the ball. I'm gonna keep taking the largest areas and cutting them in half with a new green band until they get smaller and smaller and smaller, okay? Okay. Well, you can see this is hard work. I'm sweating. It's the older you get, the tougher it is to do. But you can see what I'm doing here. I'm creating a pretty even net of green over the red, and it's a lot easier to see the voids where you haven't put a band for a while because of the contrast. These bands are getting a little dry, so I just broke about 6 of them, and so one thing I did is close my eyes when I put the band on because I don't want to snap myself in the eye. I've already got red marks that are almost bleeding on my arm. So they snap, they sting a little bit. You get used to it though. But hopefully that gives you some tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.